Hello, world. My name is Leo, and today we are discussing year 5 of the channel. How 2025 has gone for me and for the Axiom Archives. And I did not think that I'd be making another quote unquote depressing video so soon after the last one. I debated whether or not to actually make this video because a lot of people said that the what is the future of this channel video was depressing, even though that video was not meant to be depressing. um, it was just meant to like address some questions that I had been thinking about over the course of the year. And yeah, it wasn't meant to be sad, more meant to just be like a reflection in a way, looking back and looking forward. But it did touch on some things that could be seen as sad. I do acknowledge that, and a lot of people said as much. And so when it came to making this video, this is like actually depressing. There was some good that happened, and I do want to talk about that, but there was a lot of bad that happened as well. 2025 sucked. And yeah, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to make a video on it, but I decided in the end that it was important to acknowledge it, both the bad and the good. And let's start with the bad. I do want to get that out of the way first, because I want to end the video on a good note. So let's get the bad out of the way. This year, without exaggeration, has been one of the hardest years of my life. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Started out with me getting food poisoning, and then due to that and like residual stomach issues, after that I missed out on like men's chorus stuff. And this is all going to be like mainly IRL. The channel actually was pretty good, but like IRL things were rough. I had to take multiple breaks this year. Obviously, the worst one, and possibly the worst thing that happened this year, was Cody dying. For those of you who don't know, Cody was our dog. We had him since he was 3 months old, and we've had him for 15 years. And he sadly passed away this May, or this past May. And for like the past years that I've done the channel, he has been in my room with me while I've been editing every night. And to not have him here, especially in a year where he was always a like source of comfort even when things were hard. And in a year as hard as this one, his absence is definitely felt, and I miss him a lot. Besides that, I had to take breaks because my PC was having problems. I legitimately thought my PC was going to break down this year and I would have to get a new one. And that scared me because I didn't know if I could afford one. And then going off of that, the other really big major thing that happened this year was I needed to find a job. It was getting more and more to the point where finances were becoming a major thing. I had sudden medical stuff come up that would need to be paid for, which made finding a job that much more urgent. And that was just very stressful on me. That entire process was extremely stressful. And I think that stress actually plays into the last thing that's been happening over the last few months. I've talked about in a couple of community posts how I've been having health issues. Also, by the way, this video is not scripted. So if you couldn't tell already, I am just kind of like doing this off the cuff spontaneously as just like speaking from the heart. But anyway, my health issues have been extremely disruptive. I feel uncomfortable all the time. I feel nauseous a lot of the time. And what it has basically done is it has destroyed any semblance of routine I once had, because now all of my focus like has to go towards the health issues and work, and like making sure that I am healthy enough to be able to go to work and make money. And my original plan was to like get recording done and stuff before work and then edit after work, but I have not been able to get a whole lot of stuff done before work. And then I'm also trying to fix my sleep schedule. And so after work has also been kind of a toss up. And that's why videos have been so sporadic lately. I just have not had time or energy really to put out videos as often as I used to. And I really don't like that it has come to this. In a way, I feel like I have let you guys down. Even though a lot of this stuff has been out of my control, I feel like I just miss making videos properly. And I miss being able to work on the channel. And I know I was really excited for this year. I know you guys have been really excited. And I haven't been able to put out videos as often as I have wanted to. And for that, I'm sorry. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting on like Rain World and Silk Song and Deltarune, and trust me, I wish that things could go back to the way they were. I do have a doctor's appointment set up for the new year. Hopefully, my health issues will be a thing of the past in the coming year. But for now, it's just what we have to deal with. And as you can imagine, all of this has been really hard on me. Not only physically because of the health issues and stuff, but like mentally and emotionally as well. I just have not been doing well because I want to keep working hard, but I don't feel like I can work hard. And yeah, it's just been real rough. And that's not even taking into account everything going on in the world. I don't usually talk about my political views on the channel. I try really hard to avoid that kind of thing, even though like it is part of who I am and how I view the games that I play. And I'm just feeling like the world has become a more and more divided, toxic place. I feel like the internet has become extremely toxic, especially this year. And being on social media, I've been doing my best to take breaks from like Twitter and Blue Sky and stuff like that, because that's absolutely been affecting my mental health. And specifically when it comes to like games, social media, and everything that's been going on with that, with like, I don't even want to get into it, but it's been not great, and I have been trying to stay away from it. But the world is just depressing. And I feel like that's important to acknowledge too. But I am not just here to throw myself a pity party. And I don't want to depress you guys any more than I already have. So now we're going to get into the good things that happened this year, because there was good, and I want so badly to find the silver linings in this year, because good gosh, do I need it. So I looked at the goals list from the beginning of the year. In case you guys don't remember, I started off this year with making a list of goals, like short-term and long-term goals. And the long-term goals, they're like meant to be long-term. They're They were meant to take more than a year, so I didn't hit any of them, but I'm not entirely surprised by that. But the short-term goals, if I'm being honest, I came into this video fully prepared to talk about how depressing it was that I wasn't able to hit all of the goals. But after looking at the list, we actually hit quite a few. So my short-term goals for this year were renewed focus on discussion videos. We will get into the reviews and stuff more later, but I think this year I did a pretty good job of incorporating discussion videos into the identity of the channel. At the beginning of the year, I released reviews for Slay the Princess, Neva, The Plucky Squire, and Stellar Blade. We also have the Deltarune Thoughts So Far videos for chapters 1 and 2. Chapter 3 is still coming. It's almost done, I want to say. We have a lot more coming. Like, I want to do one for Silk Song. I want to do reviews for... There's 6 different reviews I have coming up. But this year, regarding that, going off of that, I also made what I think are my 2 best videos that are on the channel, period. My Stellar Blade review and the Deltarune Chapter 1 Thoughts So Far video. Those 2 videos specifically, I am so incredibly proud of. Those videos are essentially everything I want to strive for in terms of how my discussion videos are structured, the points that I make, how I use my footage to convey those points, the pacing of the video, the overall production of the video. I know there are obviously like different aspects that can always be improved on, and I'm not expecting every discussion video to be able to hit what I think is the bar for those 2 videos. But yeah, those 2 videos are what I want to strive for when it comes to my discussion content, especially my review and my analysis content, because I had a clear vision of what I wanted those videos to be, and I think I executed it almost perfectly. Like with Stellar Blade, I knew what I wanted to talk about. I knew that I wanted to talk about how the art style was really good, how the voice acting was really bad, how the combat was amazing, how the story had its flaws, how it all compared to Nier Automata and stuff like that. And I think I got my point across really well. And then for Deltarune Thoughts So Far Part 1, like my Thoughts So Far videos are usually me talking about a bunch of different topics, but for Deltarune Chapter 1, I had a very specific vision in mind of like, I could focus specifically on how it deals with the theme of choice, because I think I can make really interesting points regarding agency and inevitability. So instead of making it a typical Thought So Far video where I cover a bunch of different topics and kind of ramble, quote unquote, it's like a scripted ramble, I went for like a full-on analysis with that video, with how chapter 1 set up the themes of choice. And I think it came out really well, and I'm really happy with the reception of that video. If you guys have not seen my Stellar Blade review or my Deltarune Chapter 1 Thoughts So Far videos, I highly recommend you check those out. If nothing else, if for no other reason than I am proud of them and I want more people to see them. My next short-term goal was a reflection video on previous Let's Plays, and I haven't done that. That is something I still want to do. We'll get more into that when I talk about where the channel's going to go from here. Host a game night in Discord. I have done that. I hosted a video game music guessing game to celebrate as part of my 2,000 subscriber celebration, which I still need to do, by the way. I am still planning on celebrating 2,000 subs because, yeah, that's still a milestone that I need to share with all of you. And unfortunately, it was just really bad timing that it happened when everything else was also starting to happen. So I need to make up for that. And we have a lot that we need to. We're now at 2,100 subs, and there's a lot that needs to be celebrated. So I will I will try to find time for that going forward. But yeah, in the Discord at least, I'm glad I was able to host that for you guys. And the game nights in the Discord have been a lot of fun. I'm really proud of my community for taking initiative on that. Like game nights were something that I always wanted to do, but never really knew how to organize it. And there were a few members in the community that really took the reins and made every weekend into something special that could be shared between themselves and like me with them. And heck, there's even a whole Minecraft server that was made for the channel because people just felt that inspired to make it. And there's someone who made a whole iterator from Rain World in that server. It's just so cool. I'm so proud of the community for everything that they have done this year. Discussion on something game related was my next goal. I don't think I did that. That was what I had in mind for that was something to do with like discussing the industry and stuff like that. In a way, I'm kind of glad I didn't because the industry has been not so great. And I don't want to an extent, I don't want my channel to focus on that. That being said, it could also discussion on something game related could be like talking about a specific theme and how it applies to multiple games. I still think that could be fun. So that could be something I do still in the future. Review game from email and request review code for game. I did both of those things. Granted, I was offered a code in my email, and then I said, yes, I'll take a code, and they sent me the code. So I didn't technically request it, but like, I did review, technically not review, but I did a first impressions video of a game that I got as a code that was sent to me, Starvaders. That video was a lot of fun, and the game was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, I have not played Starvaders since that video. I have not had time, but what I did play was a lot of fun. I would still recommend that game to anyone who is interested. And then finish indie music quiz. I did not do that. That is still very much on the back burner compared to the other things I want to do. But yeah, so that's 7 goals. I said I completed how many? 4 of them. Not bad. That's technically a majority. And those are not the only good things that have come out of this year. Like, for starters, if I'm being realistic, I have not played a lot of games on the channel this year, but the games that I have played have been so much fun. Like, the year started off mainly with like Rain World. We played Artificer, Spearmaster, and Reviewlet over the course of the year. Obviously, mixed feelings on some of those, but it's just a lot of progress that we got through. I played Neva, which was just incredible. We played Blueprints, which is absolutely amazing, almost made me cry. Deltarune, the first 3 chapters, which has been so much fun. And that's another highlight, by the way. All of the new people that have come in from Deltarune have been so awesome. And I talk about it in my Chapter 3 Thoughts So Far video as well, but I want to say it again here. I don't necessarily know which video is coming out first. Probably this one, But I just want to say, to me, you guys represent the best of the Deltarune community. So many of you have made me feel so welcome in your space as I have played through these games, and as you guys have experienced this journey with me. I have I'm just so happy that so many new people came because of this series, and so many of you have been so passionate and excited and have been sharing your thoughts, and I'm really happy to have you guys here. And then we played Claire Obscure as well. A lot of not a whole lot of people watched it, but that was that I haven't finished it, but what I have played of it has been nothing short of incredible, and I very much hope to pick it up at some point. I shared a game from my childhood with you guys, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. Silk Song came out this year, and we played that. I started Saint this year. That in the grand scheme of things, that's not a whole lot of games. It's Rain World, Deltarune, Silk Song, Blueprints, Clair Obscure, Neva. That's basically it. Only 6 games, unless I'm missing one. But they've just been a lot of fun. And 2025 has been such an incredible year for games, especially indie games. There's so many games that I want to play, so many games that I want to continue, and so many experiences that I want to share in some way with you guys. And there is one more game that I've played this year, and that's getting into the other really amazing thing that happened this year. I had my first collab. I played Split Fiction with Nettybot. If you haven't heard of her, I will be linking her channel in the description below.
You okay, Leo? All right. Now this is very important. Precision is key.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Hang on. Let me just...
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. Oh my god. And I also got to hang out, like Nettie introduced me to Knight of Iron, Koi. And earlier this year, well, not earlier this year, like a month ago, a couple of weeks ago, time is weird, but we actually all played Look Outside together on Nettie's channel, and that was just so much fun. What the heck happened?
We're inside the we went to the car and it's a hell car and then it ate us and we're inside the car and to get out really fast.
It got really bad.
And now the music is really good, but we have to get out really fast.
It feels really good to have now made friends through the channel. Like, I had no idea, like, for the most part the channel has been a very solo endeavor. It's been a kind of a lonely endeavor as I've been doing it all myself. So to have made friends through the channel with people who understand what it's like to want to create something like this and understand the highs and lows that can come from that, it's something that I cherish more than I can put into words. Koi and Nettie have been just a beacon of hope and comfort, especially in these last few months where things have been really hard for me. They have been instrumental in helping me, like, keep my head up and work through it. So if you haven't already, please go check out Nettie and Koi. Like I said, both of their channels will be in the description, and we play a lot of the same games. Nettie is currently playing Slay the Princess and the Rivulet and Spearmaster campaigns. Koi, I believe, is currently playing Ultra Kill, which is something, which is a game that has also been requested for me. She's also basically finished Rain World, or almost finished Rain World, and she has a few. I know she has a few upcoming games that I have played that I'm excited to see her play. So yeah, please check them out. They're both amazing, incredible people. And Nettie and Koi, if you are watching this, thank you for making this year a better one, and thank you for giving me those like special moments that we were able to share through Split Fiction and Look Outside. So I think that basically covers everything that has happened this year. Beyond everything I've said, I want to thank you guys for being as supportive as you have been. Like I said, I know I've taken a lot of breaks this year due to various factors, and I know right now things have basically slowed to a crawl. Like the channel has stopped growing, and I have been posting videos extremely slowly. I'm very much aware of that, and you guys, a lot of you are still supporting me through all of it, and that means the world to me. So thank you guys so much for your understanding and for your patience as I navigate through this and try to figure out what the heck is going to be happening moving forward. And speaking of that, I don't want to set any goals for the next year, because I feel like in my current state and with things being in like such a so up in the air, I guess, trying to set goals right now just doesn't feel right. But I know there are some things I would like to do in the next year. For one thing, Nettie, Koi, and I have been discussing various collab ideas that we can be having. I don't want to make any promises just yet because nothing's really been finalized, but I would like to have more collabs with my friends in the future, in this upcoming year. Regarding reviews, it's kind of funny. So I had Game Pass this year, and because of that, I accrued a massive backlog of games for review, because every month I would look and see if there were any games leaving Game Pass that were on my personal list. And if there were, I'd be like, oh, I need to play that. So because of that, I ended up with a backlog of 6 reviews that I want to put out. Atomfall, The Last Case of Benedict Fox, Thirsty Suitors, Returnal, Sly Cooper, and Little Gator Game. And Benedict Fox, Little Gator Game, Thirsty Suitors, and Atomfall are all from Game Pass. And I don't like that. I think having Game Pass kind of ruined my routine when it came to reviews, because I was more focused on playing the games than I was on actually reviewing them. So I am determined to get those 6 reviews out, because I don't want it to be for nothing, and I want to still like make those videos. I want to talk about how Atomfall has one of the best feeling exploration mechanics ever, but also is kind of disappointing with the survival mechanics. I want to talk about how The Last Case of Benedict Fox is straight up terrible. I want to talk about how the Little Gator Game is able to convey passion for games with such a childlike, timeless wonder. I want to talk about how Thirsty Suitors is like really good when it comes to its writing and characters, and how it depicts people of like different cultures, and like especially when it comes to South Asian culture and queer representation and stuff like that. And I also want to talk about how the gameplay is really repetitive for it. I want to talk about how Returnal has one of the best risk reward systems of any roguelike I've played, and how the focus on risk and punishment really sets a tone for the rest of the game that I think really pairs well with its atmosphere and world design. And Sly Cooper, it's mainly just a nostalgia thing. I don't know if I'll be able to review Sly Cooper properly, just because it's a game I've already played and there's not a whole lot to it, but I do want to try. And after that, I'd like to slow down my focus when it comes to my reviews in terms of how many games I'm playing all at the same time. I have canceled Game Pass because there's no way I'm paying the increased price for it. So that should help me be able to, like, I'll play one game and then review it, and then start the next game after I'm done, or mostly done, reviewing the previous game. And I think that'll help me establish more of a consistency when it comes to putting out reviews. And when it comes to my Let's Plays, I just want to get back into a routine with that as well. But in addition to that, I've been finding myself thinking a lot about the past. And I think it's because this year has been so hard, and I've been longing for a sense of like comfort and familiarity, that I've I've found myself wanting to go back to games that have meant a lot to me over the course of my life, and I want to share those games with you guys. It's something that is new for the channel, because I've always said in the past that I want to have new experiences on the channel, and very rarely, if ever, would I replay games that I already played for the channel. But yeah, I'm feeling incredibly nostalgic, and I would love to share games with you guys that have meant a lot to me over the course of my life. Like, in terms of Let's Plays, I would love to play Celeste. For those of you who don't know, Celeste actually helped me get over my anxiety when it came to driving. It helped push me to get my driver's license. So that's something I would like to share with you guys. I would like to finish Night in the Woods, which I started on stream, and I would like to, I just really want to like share those characters and that story with you guys, and how that game tackles existentialism and writing and their NPC interactions, and that game is just so good, and I would love to continue that. Most of all, though, I want to play Nier Automata for you guys. I've said in multiple Let's Plays, including Deltarune and Rain World, that Nier Automata is probably the best game I've ever played. It is my favorite game of all time. And the way it deals with existential themes and the meaning of life and all of that is one of the best depictions I've ever seen in any media, period. And I don't know how many of you guys have already played Nier Automata yourselves. I don't know how many of you guys maybe aren't familiar with it, but I would love to play it again for you guys and show you guys why I love it so much. And if you guys want to see it, feel free to let me know. I was actually going to ask during Deltarune Chapter 4, once I start playing that, at some point I was going to ask specifically the Deltarune community whether or not you guys would want to see me play Nier Automata, because there were some interesting comparisons that I was making in Chapter 3 between Deltarune and Nier Automata. And yeah, I know that the Deltarune and Rain World community has some overlap, so I know some of the Rain World, so the people who came from Rain World are going to be watching Deltarune anyway. But yeah, I would love it if you guys would want to see me play that as well. And then for review, games like Uncharted, the Uncharted series, and the Assassin's Creed series. Both of those games meant a lot to me growing up, especially in like high school. And they helped me, they helped shape my gaming tastes for what they would be today. Like, I don't know if I would like story-driven games as much if it wasn't for games like Uncharted and Assassin's Creed. And like indie games, these ones I'm not so sure about because I don't know how well they would like translate to a let's play if I've already played them. But the 3 games that got me into indie games, for those of you who don't know, I don't know the last time I talked about this, but the 3 the first 3 indie games that I ever played that I attribute to getting me into indie games as a whole are Journey, Limbo, and The Unfinished Swan. And I wouldn't mind sharing those with you guys either. I don't know if I'd prioritize those as much as the other ones, but I think it'd be cool to go back to my indie roots and see where those came from. And then beyond that, games like What Remains of Edith Finch, the Horizon series, because I love Horizon Zero Dawn. I still need to play Forbidden West. So that going back and like refreshing myself on the story would be a good excuse. That would be for review. Edith Finch would be for let's play. Zero Horizon would be for review, because yeah, in my head it would just work out better that way. But anyway, yeah, so many games that I've already played that I would love to just share with you guys. And but also that would not mean that new games would not still be coming to the channel. I would absolutely be trying to prioritize new experiences as well. Regarding like requested games, one of the things I talked about in my channel feature video was, you know, trying to balance games that are highly requested versus games that only one person has requested, and trying to figure out what the obligation or priority should be regarding those. So maybe I'll do like a mix of like, maybe I'll do another straw poll to see which games make it up to the top now that there's so many new people here. And then maybe from there I can take, like, in addition to doing the games that are at the top of the list, I can also take some games that are from the middle or bottom of the list and maybe put those into a poll to see which ones of those you guys would want to see. There's a lot, obviously, as always, a lot of games that I want to cover on the channel. And but first I gotta get those 6 scripts out of the way and start making those reviews. And beyond that, there's of course other things that I'd like to explore semi outside of the channel, like voice acting. I still very much want to try to get into voice acting and see what that's like, and get practice in, try to hone my skills in that regard. And then this is actually kind of new this year. I want to get back into like music, like talking about video game music on the channel, music mixing. I would love to create my own covers of music from games from like Hades and Laika, Age Through Blood, and I don't know what else off the top of my head, but I would love to learn how to mix my own covers and create those and like sing for you guys. Speaking of Laika, that's another game I want to review for the channel. It hasn't been requested, but I might do. That's something else. I might do more first impression videos for like games I'm reviewing, but in order to avoid a situation with Clair Obscur where like Blueprints and Clair Obscur were both requested after I put out the first impression videos, and then both of those series ended up not doing so well, especially Clair Obscur. I want to do more first impression videos, but I'll only turn them into full Let's Plays if I get overwhelming requests to like, hey, you should continue this game. So Laika is one I'm really looking forward to for playing for review. Same with the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. A lot of you guys have probably never heard of that one. But Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood is another one I'm really looking forward to playing. It's from the same people who made the Red Strings Club. I also want to do reflection videos for Let's Plays still. Like, a lot of you, I've never talked about this, but one of the Let's Plays that I think about a lot, especially these days, is Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, which is a game that I'm assuming none of you have heard of. But I did play it on the channel, and the themes of that game, for those of you who don't know, it takes place in 1930s America, and the mechanics all revolve around gathering stories and trading them for other stories, essentially. Like the currency is stories, and uh, it's all about like American folklore and American history, and it takes an unabashed look at how the concept of like manifest destiny and the American dream is inherently flawed, and how so many people suffered because of the pursuit of the American dream, either because they were told that they could make something of themselves by working hard, but just were never able to achieve those but like reaching that was like out of their control, or because other people like cheated in order to get to the top and stomped on uh, a lot of people along the way, and that just feels kind of relevant in especially in this day and age. So I would love to do a reflection video on that, and maybe some of my other Let's Plays as well. We'll see. But yeah, none of these are hard set goals. Like I said, I don't exactly know what's going to happen. Everything's kind of up in the air. But I don't want to stop working on the channel. I would still like to get to a point where I can do this as my job, as my full-time thing, and I don't have to worry about trying to find another job to keep myself afloat and to try to take care of myself. But that is something else I need to do as well. While I don't want to stop working on the channel, I also something that I can no longer really ignore is I do need to take better care of myself. I do need to fix my sleep schedule. I do need to like go to the doctor and try to figure out what the heck is going on with me. And yeah, heck, I feel like I might be getting sick right now. My throat feels a little bit funny. Hopefully it's nothing. I really hope it's nothing, because the last thing I need while going through all of this is a cold. But you know, we'll push through it. So yeah, next fest video is still coming. That one is in the editing phase. I'm adding the visuals and stuff, and I found music for a lot of the different games that'll be featured. Deltarune Chapter 3 video is still coming. That one is almost done as well. And then the 6 reviews that I want to do. And then hopefully a Silksong Thought So Far video at some point. And then beyond that, 2026 and whatever that brings. Hopefully it's better than what 2025 brought. But at least we still have these games and these special moments that we can all look back on fondly. And remember that the year wasn't all bad. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching and for being here and for your understanding and your patience. Again, I'm sorry that this video, at least half of it, is kind of depressing. But you take the good with the bad. And hopefully next year will be better. So happy holidays for those of you who celebrate the holidays. Happy New Year for, well, I guess we all celebrate the New Year, so here's to a better 2026. And here's to all of the experiences, both new and nostalgic, both played and discussed, that are in store for us. Bye, guys.